Hello everyone, welcome back again, and as always I'm sorry it's been such a long time since my last video. I've just got a few minutes and I thought I would quickly get one uploaded for you, and I wanted to talk a little bit about decluttering, de-junking, whichever word you like to use. So I've got a bag here ready to go to charity, and as always I tend to have a bag on the go. The problem I find these days is that I never have like this plastic bag here, which I can't remember where it came from. I think somebody gave something to me in this plastic bag, and it's having these bags to then donate stuff to charity, because I never buy plastic bags. It's rare for me to have them in the house. So that's kind of my biggest problem now, is I don't have bags to put my charity stuff in to get rid of. And anyway, this bag is full of stuff for charity, and what I wanted to talk to you about a little bit was the Kon Marie method, because it's having a bit of a revival. Obviously when the book first came out, everybody was reading the book, and there were lots and lots of videos on this this life-changing magic of tidying up and people's thoughts and opinions of it. And then of course in January the television series came out. I think it's on Netflix, and so a lot of people were watching that, and new videos are being put up about this method. And so I just wanted to give my thoughts on it. I mean, I enjoyed reading the book, it helped to motivate me, but I wasn't massively keen on her idea, mainly because I'm the kind of person who, if I get everything out of, say, my wardrobe or everything out of my kitchen cupboards and make a big mess, I probably wouldn't find time to sort that out and put it all away. I have done that before. It kind of is one of my methods in a way, is if I've got a untidy cupboard, I'll pull everything out of that cupboard. But what happens then is I put back what needs to go back nice and neatly, and I'm left with this pile of stuff. And so my husband would get quite cross. He'd say to me, how can anybody make such a mess and call it tidying up? I've kind of moved on from there a bit, because I don't have cupboards full of clutter anymore. But what I do know is if I went and fetched every single item of clothing in the house and put them all in one big pile, I may take ages, you know, days or even weeks to completely get round to putting everything away. I don't know. I mean, when I do declutter my clothes, it's quite common for me to get all of my clothes and just go through them. But anyway, I'm sort of waffling on a wee bit, because I just felt it's a very extreme method, especially if you've got an awful lot of stuff. And I suppose that's one of the points, is that it makes you look and think, crikey, I've got such a lot of stuff. But you do have to really have set aside time and committed to clearing through all that stuff, making sure everything goes away and you get rid of everything that you don't want to keep, obviously. But I just don't think that would work for me. I'm a kind of clear as you go sort of person, so like I say, I've always got a bag on the go for the charity shop, because as I go along and I think, actually I don't wear this, or I don't use this, or I don't need this, I'll pop it in the bag, and as soon as the bag's full I'll get rid of it. Another thing about the Kon Marie method is she talks about things sparking joy, and that's how you know whether to keep something. Does it spark joy? And in this bag here I have actually got 4 items of clothing that I've been hanging on to simply because they do spark joy. I love each and every one of them. But the reason I've finally decided to get rid of them is because I have realised that we've just been through, I say just been through winter. I mean, officially we're still in winter, but it's warming up so rapidly here in the UK. But we've been through winter, and I have found that I haven't really worn these tops. And one reason for it is because they are quite a thick material. Would seem ideal for winter, really, nice cosy thick material. But I am a warm person. I'm in short sleeves today, look, and I'm quite a warm person. I was wondering if I could find out the temperature for you. 8 degrees, it says on my watch. So at 8 degrees C, I am warm enough to be wearing a t-shirt. Obviously when I go out I'll put a cardigan or a jacket on. So I don't need these fairly thick, let me find an example for you, fairly thick, warm, I wonder if you can see. So this particular top here, can you kind of see roughly how thick that material is? It's quite cosy, not a jumper, but not a top. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but it's a nice cosy kind of thing, and I always pick it up and think, oh yes, in the winter I'll wear that. It sparks joy because I love the pattern. I love the fact that it feels cosy. And I've got 3 of them and a cardigan that I'm getting rid of. But it's realising that although they still spark joy and I want to hold on to them, I haven't worn them this winter. It hasn't been a really cold winter, I will admit, but even if it was, I still wouldn't wear them because when I'm indoors, I tend to be warm. The places that I work are warm, well heated, and what I need is a cardigan to put on top when I do get cold and then take off when I'm too warm, rather than a top like this where if I'm too warm I can't take it off because it's, it is my top. So I've decided to get rid of them. Makes sense, they just haven't been worn and it's such a shame. They've been worn a handful of times, but for the few years I've had them, they certainly haven't been worn enough times. So that's another thing that I struggle with, is because Marie Kondo talks about sparking joy rather than stopping and thinking, do I wear this? Do I need this? Do I want this kind of thing? And I want them, I like them, they spark joy, but I don't need them and I don't wear them, so they're going. So those are my views on Marie Kondo. Now, I don't want to be negative because, as I say, I've read the book and I've enjoyed it. And I think it took me a long time to de-junk the book because I thought, oh, I might read through this again. But I did finally de-junk it. Probably, I think, I had a digital copy as well. So I thought, well, that can go because I've got a digital copy. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on Marie Kondo and de-junking. Now, as far as my no spend challenge is going, seeing as though we're into March and I haven't really updated you on it, because I'm getting rid of these 5 tops here, one of them I just got rid of because I don't wear it. It's nothing to do with it spark joy or anything. I just thought I've had that long enough, it's never been worn. So I'm getting rid of 5 tops, and I'm finding that being sort of 3 months and a year in a way, because I had a year of trying not to buy new clothes or anything last year, so I don't buy clothes very often, and 3 months in, and I'm sort of finding that what I've got is I'm a bit bored of it. And it's not just that, because I know that what I've got is okay, I've got enough clothes. I kind of justified the fact that I'm getting rid of 4 items, and I went looking through my more summery type stuff because I'm getting rid of 5 wintry items, and I realised I don't have very many of these sort of short-sleeved cooler tops. So I did buy myself 2 new tops from a charity shop, which I would show you, but they're in the wash. So I have bought 2 new tops. Oh, the dishwasher's on. Didn't realise that. Hope it doesn't ruin the viewing. Dog's whining, dishwasher's rumbling. Anyway, so yes, I have bought 2 new tops, which I know I could have managed without. They weren't essential, they weren't necessary. There are people on YouTube who wear the same item every day, perhaps have 5 of the same t-shirt and wear it all the time. There are other people, I watch a guy called Shoeless Joe who went a whole month wearing 1 single outfit. So for the clothes I've got, I could manage. But I suppose it's being a woman, it's wearing my own clothes to work and not a uniform, that made me think I'm a little bit bored of wearing these same sort of 5 outfits over and over again. So I treated myself to those 2 new second-hand tops, and I don't feel bad about it, because in spite of being on a no-spend year, I set my own rules, and I feel that, as I've said before, with anything, as soon as you say you can no longer have this, you start wanting it, you start craving it. And shopping is the same. As soon as you say you can no longer do any shopping, you can't go shopping at all. Sorry about dishwasher, it's going to beep away until I open the door. You can't do any shopping. You kind of start thinking, I really want to go shopping, and you start thinking of things that you really need. And I didn't want that to be the case. I wanted to be able to browse. And what I find is that if I allow myself to browse, I actually come away thinking, no, I don't really need or want anything, actually. It's quite easy to walk away with nothing. But there are occasions when you see something you really like, and what I tend to do in those cases is sort of hold it for quite a while, walk around the shop for 10 more minutes or so, see how I feel after 10 minutes. Sometimes, and most times, I'll go home and decide I'm going to come back tomorrow. If I'm still thinking about it and I still want it in 24 hours, I'll go back, and if it's still there, I'll buy it. So I have done that for 1 item this year as well, which was a handbag. And my excuse for getting that was the fact that I'd been looking for one since last year. And funnily enough, as soon as I put myself on a repeat no-spend challenge, which I was upping the ante a little bit, being a bit stricter than last year, I suddenly found what I wanted, second-hand in a charity shop, so that was good. And I went away and thought about it and went back the next day. And with it being a charity shop and a single item, you know, there's not more than one on the shelf, I did think it might be gone, and it wasn't. So I bought it, and I decided let's not feel guilty about it. I've been looking for one for about 8 months. So there you go. That's my update on the no spend challenge and my clearing out, becoming a bit more minimalist. Can't remember whether I said before, but I've now decided instead of saying I'm trying to become a minimalist, I'm aiming for minimalism, I've actually decided to say I am a minimalist, because a lot of things are state of mind, aren't they? And by telling myself I am a minimalist, I think that will help me get rid of stuff and not bring new stuff into the house. So that's today's update. I will try to update you a little bit more frequently. I really am struggling to think of what to make videos on, but I think I might just start maybe covering areas that I feel I've covered in the past, but maybe a few years ago, and talk about things that I have kind of forgotten about, because with my zero waste lifestyle, I've been doing it for so long, about sort of 4 years or so, that it's become second nature to me, and I can't really remember what I've told you about. There are things I'm doing just automatically, and I probably haven't shared those with you, and there might not be things you've thought of. And also I want to do a bit more to talk about the cost of zero waste, because my sister's coming on board, and as a single income, she lives on her own, she only has one income, she works part-time, and so her money is all accounted for, and so she is more aware of what it costs. So she's made me a little bit aware, you know, she'll say things like, well, I really want to buy those, but gosh, they're expensive, aren't they? And so I want to address a little bit of the options that are available out there, because I have been becoming more aware of them with my sister and another friend. Actually, I had a friend who started messaging me quite regularly saying, have you heard of this, that and the other? And I was like, yes, I've been doing that for a while. And she's again, lives on her own, has a limited amount of funds, and so she's saying, well, I can't necessarily afford this, that or the other, but I'm doing things bit by bit. So I just kind of want to address how it can be more, I was going to say cheaper, but more cheaper isn't correct terminology, how it can be, doesn't have to be expensive, and how I think we tend to fall into that trap that we do with so many areas where we think you've got to have this, you've got to have that, you've got to have the other. And I certainly fell into it a little bit, not because I felt I'd got to have them, just because I wanted them and I liked the look of them. I thought, oh, I want this, that and the other. And I've realised now that it was foolish and unnecessary. So I'm going to make a few videos about that. Give me a thumbs up if you think you would like videos like that. Because I won't make them if I think you're not going to be interested. Okay, anyway, I'm going to go and get on. I've got to go to work soon. So I'll hopefully be back very, very soon. You're thinking, no, she won't. She says that every month. I want to try and prove you wrong. Bye.